Hi, my whole nation. Hey, Ho Squad and Ho Nation. How are you today? Thank you for coming and watching as always. I do appreciate it. You know what? I appreciate y'all because y'all hang out with me, not only in videos, but in live streams. And, we have nice, interesting conversations and you tolerate my opinions and my opinionated ways. If you are new, I am LuuLuu, the perfume hoe. HEAUX because we are classy, not trashy around here. And we discuss all things scented. We're gonna be getting more into candles this year. We'll be talking, of course, with perfumes and other things as we go along because we are more than just fragrance, right? Okay. So let's get started and let's talk about my next spring video. So this is the affordable spring. This is your ultimate. I'm saying this like there's no more, but this is my ultimate affordable spring fragrances. Now, let me say this. This will not have any Middle Easterns or dupes in it. And no shade to either one of those. I like them all, but for two reasons. I don't buy them. And it's not that I don't buy dupes. Listen, I don't buy enough of the more popular things to justify buying a dupe because I can't tell you if it's a dupe or not because I don't own the original. You know what I'm saying? So if I buy an original, I'm not buying a dupe because I just ain't got time to be trying to replicate my coins. My coins ain't that deep, y'all. And there are other people who do it so much better than me. Rose Ayala does them great. Yummy does them way, Yummy Kia does them great. There are so many people that you can see about Middle Easterns and like duas and things like that and dupes than me. So, I think that we should, do what we do and not necessarily try to do everything. I can't do everything. My money can't afford it. And so I do what I do best, finding interesting things, finding different things outside of the norm. So if you're looking for an affordable spring fragrances that are just spring fragrances, they're not duping anything. They are their own standalone fragrances that you can enjoy this spring. Then come on in and hang out and find some great ones under $50. Some of them under 20, y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all. All right, before we get started on the affordable list, let me say this. Everything that I'm talking about is available right now. And the reason why I say that is because there are some that I have that have always been affordable, but they're just not available now. And so when I do these lists, I try to make sure I tell you things that you can get your hands on. Not, oh, you got to look around. Oh, maybe you can find them. No, these are available right now on websites where we can find them. So let's get started. Get rid of that. Let's get started. Let's get rid of that. All right. So the first one is Secret de Rocas Rose Intense. This is a fruity rose. It's a fruity, fun rose. It has peach. It has passion fruit in it. It has osmanthus. So it has this really kind of peachy. The passion fruit isn't really intense because passion fruit can be a little tart. It's more peach with a little tartness in it. So it's a fruity floral. It is fruity. It's rose intense. And then as it dries down, you have some musk in it and a little patchouli and amber. So it has the amber gives it a little more depth. And it's a very fun, flirty rose for the spring. So this is Rose Intense by Secret de Rocas. All right, so the next up is this one. This is Amazing Grace Magnolia, but if you notice, it is the EDP version because Philosophy is now bringing out EDP versions of these. So I have both the EDT and the EDP. I'm telling you about this one because I think they're both beautiful, but I kind of like the EDP a little more. It's a little more fresh. It's a it has a little more citrusy freshness to it. Now, this is to get it at a good price. You have to go to FragranceNet. They're the ones who have it right now. I don't even see this on the Philosophy website, so I don't know if they've discontinued the Magnolia EDP. So right now, if you are interested in this, if you like the Amazing Graces, and I do, so I'm showing this Amazing Grace, but the other Amazing Graces I love are good too. I'm still trying to get the EDPs of some of them, but Ballet Rose, Nude Rose. They're all very good. The Amazing Graces are really underrated, very fresh, clean, very easy to wear, not going to offend anybody, range of fragrances. And if you look on Jomashop and on FragranceNet, you can find really good prices on them. Like some of them are like $20 or $30 for the really big bottles. So this is Amazing Grace, the Magnolia, the EDP version. Next up are these, and I talk about these all the time, and I've already talked about this one if I'm not mistaken. This is Carven L'Absolu. These are Kirkjohns. So I always say you can find Kirkjohns. You ain't got to buy the MFKs because he has a style. He has a vibe. And so these vibe. And so this is the more intense one, and I love it. It starts out with a citrusy vibe, and it becomes a citrusy floral and it's very heavy on the what does it have? The mandarin, and it has mandarin and ylang ylang, jasmine, tuberose, and iris, and then it has patchouli and sandalwood. So as it dries down, you get this really nice citrusy because the citrus still stays in there. So you get the citrusy floral, and then you get the nice, beautiful floral woods, the patchouli, the sandalwood that really ground it and give it a sexiness. I always say this is a sexy floral, and it's a sexy citrusy floral, and it is. So this is Carven L'Absolu. All right, next up is Carven Le Parfum. Now this is the same. This is the day version, where L'Absolu is definitely a more even, can be worn in the evening. This is definitely a day version. Now they have a low toilette. That's good too. They are all different. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm just buying the same thing in different concentrations. Absolutely not. This one is a little more floral, where this one has the Absolute has citrus. This is very floral. It does have, and it has osmanthus in it, and it has sweet pea and jasmine and hyacinth. So this is like a floral bouquet, very spring-like. This is giving spring. This is giving, the first time you can wear your sandals and a dress outside. This is what it feels like. It feels like those first days of spring when you have like the hyacinth in bloom. It's a very spring-like floral. Whereas, you have those summer florals, which are very heavy and very, dense and very seductive. This is the more friendly, the more, it's the beginnings of the season, and we're just so happy to be able to get out in this warm weather. So this is Carven Le Parfum. But before we continue, can we have a minute for these nails? Y'all know I got my Shein nails, and oh my God, this set is so gorgeous to me. Do y'all see this? This is so pretty. I am in love with this set. Y'all, I think I'm gonna buy an extra set of these just to make sure I have them, just to make sure. Because it was like $1 something. Okay, let's go back. All right, so before I forget, let me give you 2 of these. Let's talk about Mix Bar. Mix Bar, of course, is very inexpensive, well known in the fragrance community. It gets its little shine and everything, but let's talk about 2 that I think that would be great right now. This is Pear Blossom, and like it's a pear blossom. It's giving you that juicy pear, giving you a little floral. It is a really cute, very something that you could just throw in your bag. I find Mix Bars, I would say, would be like bag purses. I would say mixed bar can be like a bag perfume. You know, some you keep in your bag because it's not too big. And this is a 50 mil. And this is like something you could freshen up with. You could smell fresh and cute. And just like if your fragrances like died and you're out all day, this would be a cute way to just add something on. This one is giving you that kind of musky pear blossomy pears and florals and everything. So that's what pear blossom is. And then this is a new one. I just talked about it. And this is sugared violet. Violets, of course, perfect for spring. And this is giving you that sugared violet. Think Guerlain Insolence, because Guerlain Insolence is such a beautiful sugared violet, right? This is similar. It has that sugary violet vibe, that powderiness. It is gorgeous. So this would be a perfect one to have too for the spring. And another brand that is very talked about for fragrances. I'm sorry. I feel like my hair is just like separated. I wanted the, I don't know. Okay, stop messing with it. Okay. I'm trying to give y'all that silk press vibe. And I did it myself. I think I put a little too much of my heat protector on. So it's a little bit, it's not as, it's got a little, you know, see what I'm saying? It's kind of like staying together. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I just got caught up in my hair. That's what happens when you're staring at yourself for a long time. All right. Now, let's talk Le Monde Gourmand. We're going to talk about Santal Supreme. Think Le Labo Santal 33, but easier to wear. I don't like Le Labo Santal 33, but I like this one. So this is a little easier to wear. It's not quite as screechy as Santal 33. It's a little more smooth as far as I'm concerned. And so this is a good one. You can get this at Ulta. I don't know. I haven't seen any other place but Ulta. So this is Santal Supreme. Oh, and then next up is this one. Now I'm going to give you some Korres. Korres is a great brand. However, let me say this. Only purchase them when they are on sale because they retail for $62 on their website. However, you can get them on sale for like 40 something dollars. That's when you purchase them, not before. And Korres does this 1-to-1 on points. So if you buy them, you get 40 something points, which translates to dollars. Kid you not. So this is Lefko. This came out last year. Another place to get them is Fragrance Net. A lot of times Fragrance Net will have them under what you can get them on sale at Korres. So anyway, this is a gorgeous floral. Now, the Korreses are EDTs, so they're not going to last forever. But this is a stunning floral. This has got lily of the valley, rose, peony, musk powder, white sandalwood. So this is a powdery floral. My powdery floral girls, this is a good one just to have in your bag, just to carry it around, just to live with it. You know, just as another one that would be a perfect spring purse bag perfume, because you know this isn't necessarily going to last all day, and it's not. And I honestly don't care. I'm just here to tell y'all, I know this, you know, we have this whole beast mode thing. I don't care about those things. I just want it to smell good. And guess what? I have enough fragrances. I can always respray it. I think this whole thing, like, I don't understand what's the deal. How do you finish off fragrances, but you don't want to spray them a lot? So be open to carrying some fragrances, either the whole bottle or decant them in whatever way in order to refresh your fragrances. You refresh your lipstick. Why don't we want to refresh our fragrances? I'm just saying. Okay, so this is Lefko. Like I said, this is a beautiful floral, powdery floral, perfect for this time of year. All right, so that's Lefko. All right, so this one right here, I'm going to show you this one because this is the only one I can see that was available. This is Elizabeth and James Nirvana French Gray. Now, there's some other ones that, of course, that are beautiful, but really they're hard to get. French Gray, I saw that was on Fragrance Net. The 50 mil, I have the 30 mil that was approximately like $17, $19, something like that. It was under 20. Now, French Gray is not for everybody because it has a heavy dose of lavender. Of course, we know that the Nirvanas have like usually about 3 notes. This has neroli, lavender, and musk, and that's exactly what it is. It is neroli, lavender, and musk, but it's heavier on the musk. Now, I mean on the lavender. I have to be in the mood for this because of the lavender. Some days I like it a lot, and then some days it's like, so I really don't honestly wear this a lot, but I think it's a good one to have in the just in case. You know, this is a just in case for me fragrance. So this is Nirvana French Gray. Now, let's talk Coach. Now, I have a few Coaches. Now, Coaches are underrated, and you can still find them at Ulta. Please don't go to Ulta and buy these. Please do not. Whenever you see some Coaches come up, wait it out a little bit because they are going to hit the gray market hard, and they go deep discount. Because I know people who like some of the Coaches because they are cute, but they're actually paying full price for them. And I'm like, are you insane? So this is the original. This is the EDP with the brown label. This is just a stunning floral. This is a floral. This is a floral. Has a little bit of rose in it. And it's a really nice floral. Just an easy going fragrance for this time of year and very inexpensive. Like this is like, these are the type of fragrances that you can leave at your desk at work just to have to freshen up. Like I did have this at my desk one year for work. So that's the kind of thing this is for. So this is Coach the EDP. Now I'm gonna put a picture up because I actually have this Coach, but it's at my desk and I forgot to bring it home. So this is Coach Wild Rose. This is a newer one. Trust me, you can get this at a good price on FragranceNet or on Jomashop. It's around $30 or so for it. And so this is a kind of a fruity rose. It has a little body to it. So it has red currant, bergamot, rose, jasmine, sambac, and it's got a broxton, tonka bean, and moss. So it has a very it's a fresh rose. That ambroxan and that moss give it a kind of a green freshness to it. And then the rose is really gorgeous and slightly intense, not super intense. Perfect for, everyday wear. And if you are somebody who doesn't want to wear an extremely loud fragrance like some of us, me, this would be a good one to wear going out, like to dinner or something, because it's going to give you this really pretty vibe without being overpowering. So that's Coach Wild Rose. All right, and then next up is Coach Dreams Sunset. This was a newer one. Ouch! I'm sorry, I got this itch. This was a newer one recently. These are, trust me, go look for them on Fragrance. Now I picked up this one in the smaller size because I was like, I'm not sure if I want it, and I was blind buying, but I wanted to try it out. So you can get it if you really have tried it before. Trust me, go get it on FragranceNet on Jomashop because the big ones I think are under $50. I know this one was like around 25. But anyway, it has a pear ice cream note, so it's like it's juicy and fruity, and then it's got the magnolia. So it's got pear, ice cream, bergamot, and magnolia, which give it this citrusy, juicy, sweet, right? And as it dries down, you get vanilla and tonka bean. So it's a really cute fragrance. Let me say this is a really cute fragrance. Now, how would I wear it at my big age, right? Because sometimes you'd be like, you wear this? Now, first off, this would be a really cute fragrance for a young lady. That's number one. This is perfect for a young lady who, like especially like a teenager or early, like a graduation gift. If you're going to graduation and you want to give something, this would be a really pretty vibe to give for a graduation gift. It also, though, for me, this is one of those sit around the house. If I'm going to be outside, like say, for instance, I'm having people over and we're just hanging out in the backyard. This would be a nice scent to wear then, well, unless I don't want the bees to come across to me. But it would be like a really nice scent, where it's sweet. It just gives a vibe. It gives a I'm a happy vibe. This is a very, I'm happy, I'm having a good time. This is a good time fragrance. It's a good time, not a long time. It's just for a good time. All right, so this is Coach Dreams Sunset. All right, so now let's talk Banana Republic. The only place you're gonna go to get Banana Republics are at Burlington or at Ross because they're like $20, $20. The really big ones, 25, but the regular size, $20, 19.99 all day long. Okay, so that's where we're buying them. But here are three to think about for the summertime. Um, all right, so the first one is Gardenia and Carven. Now this is a well light fragrance from Banana Republic, especially for this time of year. I really need to do a Banana Republic video. I'm waiting to find some more because I have a lot of them. I know I never really talk about them all, but I do have a lot of Banana Republics that we should go through, like 10 or 12 of them. Yeah, I probably got like 10 or 12 of them now. But I'm waiting for those new. Okay, let's get out of that. Okay, let's talk about Gardenia and Cardamom. This is just that. It's giving you the white florals. It is a little gardenia forward, but then it does have tuberose. So they, them play well together. And then you do have the spiciness of the cardamom, which gives it a very luxe and opulent vibe for $20. This definitely gives it a very, as I like to call it, it gives it a very country club vibe, very just laid back, chic, effortless chic. So this is Gardenia and Cardamom. Now, of course, it has other things. It has magnolia, it has jasmine. So it has the Gardenia, tuberose, jasmine. That trio of, loved white florals. And okay, and as it dries down, you get the amber and driftwood, which then, gives it that body you need with a slight ambery richness. Not too sweet, but just ambery richness. So this is Gardenia and Cardamom. This one really doesn't get talked about, but this one is so beautiful too. This is Peony and Peppercorn. Now, here's the issue for me is that Peppercorn. In the beginning, that's why I haven't really worn it a lot, but then I try to, I said, girl, what are you doing? So in the beginning, pepper can be really harsh on me. It gives me like I've been sprinkled in pepper for about 2 minutes. That's what I get from here. The first 2 minutes of it is very heavy on the pepper, but then it starts to dry down, and that's when it gets good. And it becomes a classic peony and rose fragrance. If you like peony and rose and you don't want to spend a lot of money, like for, Pivot Ponton from Maison Lancôme, because I think you still get that one. Peony and Peppercorn is a really good alternative. It is so gorgeous. And then what it has is musk and cashmere wood. So it's a very musky powder, slightly powder. It's more musky floral. So this is like, think roses musk with peony. So it's in that genre, but it has that bite of spiciness from the peppercorn, the pink pepper. If it on me, I hate that part of it, but on you, it might smell divine. So to give it a spicy, peony, rose, musky vibe. So this is pink peppercorn. Now, this one was a surprising like for me. And this is 90 Pure White. As you can see, I've worn this quite a bit. So this is a green tea. It's a tea based, but it's got citrus, it's citrusy and green teas. Now, let me tell you, this was one of the first freshies that I liked, and that's why I use so much of it. Because before then, you couldn't get me anything like this. But as I have really gotten into fragrances and been open to trying new things, I have really gotten into fresh fragrances, especially at this time of year, more citrus based things like that. And this was my first one. So it's like this tea based one. It has lavender, but the lavender isn't super loud in here. And then the musk and vetiver and things. So this is a really fresh, citrusy kind of tea based musky vibe. This was my This was during the panorama. This was me just hanging out, just rushing. Go when we do our, when grocery runs were like the highlight of your week. This was what I would wear a lot of times. I would throw on this for a while because I just really liked it, and it was like, okay, I'm going out. Or early in the morning, I would put this on. Like if I was gonna sit on the back porch and chill, I would put this on. So this is 90 Pure White. Okay, so now let's talk Berdo. Now, I always say Berdo, Roger and Gillette, they're like my Joe Malone-esque fragrances, but at the price point that I think Joe Malone should be at, because I think she's overpriced for the longevity. And yes, no, I don't care about longevity, but I just feel like at that price point, it should last a little bit longer. These actually do last a little bit longer, but here are like three to think about. They're usually on fragrance nets, and these are so inexpensive. These are under $20. So this is Freesia and Cotton, and that's what it's giving you. Now this is the Freesia and Cotton. This is the EDT versions. This is giving you Freesia and Cotton. It is giving you that floor. I love Freesia, so that Freesia's with a nice crisp cotton. It is clean. It is clean girl aesthetic. It is just chilling. It is, yeah, I'm just first thing in the morning. If you go, this is a gym fragrance, so the people wear it to the gym. This is a workout fragrance. This is like just, hey, just a fresh, happy fragrance. Now this is one I've had for a while. I haven't been wearing it because I don't know why, but this is Pivot and Rhubarb. And this is what it says. It's a rose peony with that bite of rhubarb. So if you like that rhubarb vibe in a rose rhubarb, this is one to get. And this is one that you can bathe yourself in. So this is a good nighttime fragrance. This is a bedtime fragrance. This is a just hanging, being at home, clean up the house. This is running an errand, just running out the house, but you don't want it to last too long because you might want to wear something later, right? Because maybe you're going someplace later but you want to have on something now because you're running the streets. You got to run a few errands. This is good for that. And then I always talk about this one. This is Figue Blanche. This is white fig. If you like fig, if you want to dip your toe in the fig, this is a good way to start. But if you like fig and you want just an inexpensive one that you could just throw in your bag, that you could just spray on all you want with abandon, Figue Blanche, because that's exactly what it is. It is a white fig. It's musky. Oh, this is a good fig. This is like classic fig. Think not Philoxicos, but think more Fico de Amalfi by Acqua di Parma. It vibes like that. So this is Figue Blanche by Berdo 1902. All right, so this one I'm going to tell you about. This is from Lanvin. This is La Fleurs de Lanvin. This is Blue Orchid. Now, there's actually three in this line. I'm only going to talk about Blue Orchid, but the other ones are gorgeous too. Sunny Magnolia and Water Lily. Water Lily, think Water Lily by Erin Beauty. It is very much in the same line as that, but it's at $20 or so. Whereas, and I own Water Lily Sun by Erin Beauty, but I'm telling you, they're very comparable. So this is Blue Orchid. This one is giving you this is a really interesting fragrance because I was like, okay, what is it going to smell like? So it has a kind of sweetness because it has tonka bean in it. So it is a very light floral. Like Lanvin tends toward light things, like light. They have a lightness to them, an airiness to their fragrances. So this one has a little sweetness to it from the tonka bean. It's got a vanilla quality, but really it's like a irisy vibe. It's giving you a powdery irisy floral. Very, very chic, very chic. So this is Blue Orchid. And speaking of irisy vibes, iris fragrances, this is Eternity Intense. Now, for it to be a Calvin Klein Eternity, which is very inexpensive, this one goes in and out of stock quickly. This one is on Jomashop right now. You should get it if you like that type of vibe. This is always said to be a very posh, very gorgeous iris powdery iris fragrance. And it gives you, rich, it gives rich vibes. It gives very understated elegance vibes. That is what Eternity Intense does. And it's a spring fragrance because it's powdery, it's iris, it's gorgeous. And then we have this right here. This is Guess 1981 Indigo. This is the indigo one. This is the fig one. This is very, it's very misleading. Let me tell you why. Because honestly, I had this on I was using this as a fragrance at work, right? And at first I didn't think you could smell it. Now, mind you, it doesn't look like I was using it, but I was. This was like one of my work fragrances. And so this has like a figgy tea kind of vibe. And it's really, really good. A nice clean, like this is like that clean aesthetic, very, easy to wear. The interesting thing about this is that I could not smell this on me, but other people could. And that's why I like it, because I used to get compliments. One of my students, he used to love this fragrance on me because it was very clean. It was very fresh. It had that fig vibe to it, not too harsh, not the woodiness, but the fruitiness of it, but not too much. This is a really cute fragrance for 20 something dollars. Easy breezy. This is a good work fragrance. This is a good, gym fragrance. When you want to just smell clean and fresh, but without being too much and overwhelm people, this is a good one. Okay, I'm back. I know y'all like, you look a little different. I do. I went on a Costco run. I had to stop filming because it was time for a Costco run. So we went, and $500 later, I'm back. Is it Costco's? And it's like we were doing really well, and then things just started falling in. Of course, it didn't help that B decided we needed to get these steaks from Costco, and Costco steaks, they ain't that cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, that now before we keep going, before I finish, there's a couple of brands that you notice you haven't seen in here. One of them, of course, is Elizabeth Arden. I will be addressing Elizabeth Arden. Finally, I will be doing an update of my green tea collection, because for the people who don't know, I am your green tea queen, princess, whatever you want to call me. So I'm finally going to do it because I have not done this in years. And so I'm going to go over all of the newer ones, all the ones, and we're going to talk about them again and update. And I have a different nose, so it'll be interesting to see how I feel about some of the ones that I really were like, was okay. So wait for that. And then Sugar Mama. We know Sugar Mama is one of, across the board, a very affordable brand. However, I have an order that I'm waiting for because I purchased a lot of her new spring stuff. So I'm just waiting for that to come in. And then so she will be getting a dedicated video, opening up, seeing what she's got, first impressions, the whole nine. Be excited. Or should we go live with that one? Do y'all want me to do a live or a video or both? Let me know. Okay, but now let's talk about the last two. And then I have an honorable mention. So the first one we're going to talk about is this one. I could have actually pulled up three, but I'm going to give you these two. All right, so this is Girl of Now Lovely right here. I don't know if you can see that. Girl of Now Lovely. You can tell because Girl of Now has more of a blue, light bluish, kind of turquoisey. This is a seafoam green at the top. All right, so this is Girl of Now Lovely. This does have the Girl of Now DNA. It does have that kind of orange blossomy, little bit of almond, but it's a more spring summer vibe. It has mint on the top, which I don't normally like, but it gives it a freshness to it. So it's kind of like this fresh. It's got pear, it's got rosemary, so it's a little more green. And then as it dries down, you get, and it has some notes that I really don't like anise in it. I don't like anise. I don't like mint, but for some reason they work really well in here, right? And then as it dries down, you get tonka bean and amber and patchouli and ambroxan. This is Really, like I love Girl of Now Shine, but this is a little different. It's like the cousin to Girl of Now Shine, because this has a definite more floral vibe to it, because it has like frangipani and the orange blossom, mm, and rose. So it's a little more floral, but it also has this greenness to it, this green kind of aromatic vibe, but you still get the Girl of Now from it. And this is something that you really have to try to see how it is, but it's really, really pretty. It's a really nice version of it, which still has a little bit of the DNA, but definitely gives it a whole different vibe. So it's not like you're just buying the things and repeating it over and over again. It's like it took that little bit of Girl and Now DNA and really just gave it this kind of summery, spring, green, aromatic vibe with notes that I really don't like, but actually work really well. Now, this one is Girl of Now Forever. This was the third in the line. And this one it's how do I want to say, totally different. This has pear, it has raspberry. I'm sorry, it has raspberry and lemon, right? So it has this tart juiciness. People were saying that it was sort of like Delina. It is not, but what it is, it does have this tart juiciness, which kind of gives you a Delina kind of vibe, you know. So it is in that genre, but it is nothing. It does not smell like it. So it has this tart, juicy, fruity vibe from the raspberry and lemon, and then it has a little almond and rose, and you get more rose than the orange blossom. So that's why I think people really say it's more like Delina, because it has that tartness, and then it has the rose. But as it dries down, you get the vanilla and the musk. It's a really, now this one, like I said, is totally different. However, let me say this: if you sort of like Delina, if you kind of like Delina, but you don't want to spend the money because Delina has gotten expensive, or you sort of liked it, but it was just too much, like that rhubarb and that lychee, this would be a good alternative. It will give you that same kind of vibe with at a much lower price point without that screechiness of Delina that I love, because y'all know I love Delina. So this is Girl of Now Forever. And finally, I'm going to throw this one in as an honorable mention because it didn't make the under 50 and under, but it was close. So I said, let me just show y'all this one. This is Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. It's not this size. I think it's the 50 mil that is on Jomashop, like $52. So this is that Ruby Orchid, is that sweet. I'm sorry, it's that kind of fruity. Ruby Orchid is the peachy vanilla one, a Flower Bomb. So it gives you a little Flower Bomb DNA. It does give you a little Flower Bomb, but it's peachy and vanilla. So $52 for 50 mil. All right, y'all. That is it for my affordable spring perfumes. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, what are your affordable spring perfumes? Are any of these, do you own them, and what do you think about them? Or just say, as always, hey girl, hey. It's all as always, it's your LuuLuu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Talk to you later.